Welcome to Girl Crush Country, where we are obsessed with women in country music. And I'm Jess Wright. The timing of this conversation is a little bit crazy, and I'm going to get to that in a second. This week's guest is an artist that I have been following for a few years now, who I think is well on her way to being a mainstream name in country music, and I'm so excited to talk to her. Welcome, Erin Kinsey.
Thank you, Jess, for having me. That's very sweet. What an intro.
Well, listen, here I have the crazy timing part has something to do with that.
Yes.
And I'm going to give you some statistics as well. But the crazy timing part, as you know, I used to host a weekly country countdown. It was 4 years ago, Valentine's Day, that I interviewed you for the first time.
No way.
It was 4 years ago today that I played your song on our countdown for the first time. It was a little song called Just Drive. It was in the introducing feature, so it was a spot that we reserved for brand new artists. And it became the first of 4 songs by you that went top 5 for us.
That is so cool. I'm so glad that you noticed that, because I feel like that's something that I would just miss, but that's so special and so crazy.
Yeah.
And also, thank you, because I feel like people taking a chance on me in that song was the thing that gave me a foot in the door here in Nashville and outside of Nashville too. So thank you. And that is so sick. I love that. I love a full circle moment.
Yeah, for sure. Full circle moment. And I want to look at some of those songs because you spent a total of 18 weeks in the top 5 between 2022, when I first talked to you, and mid-May 2025, when I no longer hosted that countdown. So 11 of those 18 weeks in the top 5 were with your first song, Just Drive.
Wow.
State of Summer, Bet My Heart, and Getting Away With It also hit top 5.
That is so cool.
And while we're talking about statistics, and this is the reason that I really believe that you are going to have a long career in this business, because as a new artist in that first 3 years between when I played Just Drive for the first time and mid-May, your songs overall spent 115 weeks in the top 40. So that's out of 169 weeks, you were charting for 68% of that time.
Wow. Where are these? I need to put these numbers like on my forehead.
Right?
I need to tell everyone this stuff. That's so cool. Oh my gosh. How did I not know all of this?
Well, this was just among the listeners of the platform where I worked.
Yeah.
In 2023, you spent more weeks in the top 10 than any other artist in country on our platform.
That is wild.
Yeah.
That is so cool too. I'm so glad you're sharing this stuff with me. That's so sick.
So if nobody has told you you're going to be a big star yet, let's just put it right out there that I believe you're going to be a big star.
You know what? I'm betting on it. I am not good at anything else. So I'm hoping so. Well, no, that's seriously so cool.
Yeah, it really is. And back then, you had told me that you'd been in Nashville for 4 years at the time.
Yeah.
So we've doubled that now. What is different for you as far as how you experience the music industry?
Man, how I experience the music industry. Well, I feel like the difference in where I was at about 4 years ago and where I am now is I do feel like I am, and it shouldn't take this, but I do have enough validation within the town to where I'm really just focused on what I can bring to the industry, to the room, to the concert, to whatever that no one else can. And really diving into my individuality and, the hyper-specific parts of me and my artistry. And I think there's a pressure when you're on the newer side of being in the industry to do what everyone else is doing and make sure you're not missing out on anything. So that's definitely one of the biggest mindset shifts that I've had. And honestly, it's been a slow build, but increasingly in the last 6 months is what can I do that no one else is doing? because only I could do it. If that makes any sense.
It definitely does. It definitely does. And we are going to talk about a thing that you are doing that's a little bit unique and coming
There's
up.
a few things.
Yeah. What would you say is different about you as a writer and a performer in that time? I mean, let's just, first of all, go back and acknowledge the fact that 2 years before Just Drive came out, you already had a cut recorded by our matron saint of country music, Dolly Parton.
Yes, our queen. Our queen. Yeah. That was a crazy experience. And for it to be for Susan G. Komen and with breast cancer awareness, that was definitely, I think I might have said this before and it still rings just as true now. It's one of the most important things I've ever gotten to be a part of. So it kind of freed me up to try to just have fun because I realized how important and heavy things could be and how much weight they could carry if you let them. And also how much fun and lighthearted music can be. I mean, music is just an incredible thing. It can be so many different things. So I feel like the biggest thing that I have now that I didn't have then was confidence to do whatever I feel like I should do, for worse or for better. Again, leaning back into things that only I could do because only I could do it, not because no one else is doing it yet or trying to be trendy or ahead of a trend, or it's more just so writing stories so deep and true to me that I'm the only one that could sing them because I'm the one that woke up and lived that day. I went through that experience. I felt that pain. So confidence to do things that I really believe in is has been a fun thing to lean into, especially with the live show. I play a lot of guitar in my live show. I run around the stage like a mad woman. I talk a lot. People learn a lot about me when they come to my shows. I just kind of air out everything and I'll tell anybody anything. And it's been really fun to have that element into all of my music and all of my shows and in the writer's room of just authenticity and confidence.
When you first put out your first EP back in 2022, it was, I don't want to bring up a sore subject.
No, come on.
Having been through some similar experiences to what you have been through, I know it can be hard to talk about sometimes, but that first EP was all like happy, love my life, love my boyfriend, everything is great.
Yeah.
And then subsequent songs were less
like that.
Like that.
I love it.
And I remember like when you put out I Ain't Crazy, when you put out Matchmaker, and hearing the story that inspired both of those songs, the gasp I gasped, first of all.
Yeah, it was deserved. It was deserved.
Yeah. I mean, do you want to talk about the story that, as brief or detailed as you want, that inspired those songs and sort of the change in tone of your music?
For sure. And I'm definitely going through another change in tone now, thank God. Because luckily life does go on. But the first EP, I started dating a guy when I was in high school, and we fell in love so fast. And I was determined to make it, the relationship of my life, that I was going to, fall in love once and that would be it. And it turns out you don't get to choose that. Mm-hmm. It just either happens or it doesn't. And we dated for a long time. We were together for 6 years and ended up breaking up in 2022. And it was sad. It was, definitely there was writing on the wall that we both ignored for a really long time. So when it finally, we parted ways, it was really heartbreaking. But also we knew it was the right thing, and we had tried it long enough to know that if we could have made it work, we sure would have. And we were mutual about it for the most part. And then I forget timeline-wise exactly what the dates are, but not too long after that, I found out he was hanging out with one of my really good friends. And her and I had just kind of lost touch. I was on tour for maybe 2 or 3 months, and I saw on some social media thing that they were hanging out. And we were all kind of mutual friends with each other, so I didn't want to make her pick a side or something like that, but it made me not really want to hang out with her all that much. So I didn't, and we just kind of had some space. About 6 months later, I found out they're engaged and they're getting married. And my poor dad saw it on Facebook, and I'm not on the Facebook, so I didn't know. But he had my sister tell me, and
Oh,
obviously had a lot of feelings about that. So it was a friend that definitely was as close to him because she was closer to me. But they ended up getting married, and I hear that they're very happy. I'm not really involved in their life. I don't really feel like there's a reason for me to be. But I think they're doing well and they're hanging in there, and I got to have a lot of fun talking a lot of smack.
yeah.
And it was, I mean, neither one of them are really on social media. We never talked about the situation. I would be horrified if they tried to talk to me about it because I'm definitely a lot more confident singing than talking. But, it was something that I realized happens to a lot of people. A lot of people get close to more than one person, and when you break up with somebody, they might know some of your friends, and they might think that they're kind of cool, and they might end up hanging out. Now, getting married, I thought was crazy, but it was a fun thing to kind of create a world around, and honestly, find so much community and comfort, and that in the best possible way. I just really wasn't that special. People had been through that, and they had survived it, and everyone was okay, but it was a lot of fun.
I mean, I've talked before with probably almost every artist that I've had on here that one, heartbreak makes for a great country song. And
100%.
two, when you're going through it, it feels like you're the only one that this could possibly have ever happened to. And then you find out, wait, no, this is
Yeah.
really common.
Exactly. I mean, there's just billions of people. So it's bound to have happened to somebody. And I learned through releasing those songs. So Matchmaker was about how I felt like I was the reason that they were in love, and no one was giving me credit. And then I Ain't Crazy was talking about how I kind of suspected something was going on before it was confirmed. And even though I didn't love finding out that they were hanging out, I was honestly just thrilled that my intuition was on the money.
Exactly.
Bullseye. So I was cool. No, I was happy to know that. So again, those were very mutual feelings. And if you haven't felt them through an ex and a best friend getting together, you've felt them in other things. And so there's songs that also were just so fun to sing on the road. They're just so high energy and sassy and super fun to tell the story behind and hear the gas that get gusped when people don't know it's coming. It's been a lot of fun.
Now, I saw, and I'm not trying to be all in your business. Again,
No,
you
come
are
on.
entitled to a private life. If at any
Not
point
if I post it on Instagram. If I'm posting on Instagram or TikTok, it's for the public.
it's fair game, okay?
I think.
Well, and I think sometimes I may make assumptions, and other people may do that as well, because either I haven't seen every single post or you haven't given all the details or whatever. But I quoted you for weeks after Christmas because you posted a picture where you were holding up your left hand that has nothing on the finger. And you and you said something like, spending Christmas away from my family, that's wife duties. See you after. And I was like, yes, exactly right. But
People were mad about that. They were upset.
Really?
Which I think, to each their own.
Yeah.
If you want to go, spend time with your boyfriend's family or your girlfriend's family, they might have an awesome family. And you might be like, you know what, yours is cooler. But mine's pretty dang awesome.
Yeah.
So
And you've always been so close to your family.
Yes. I mean, it's just me and my parents and my one sister. And my sister's in college in the middle of nowhere, Texas. So I don't get to see her a lot when she's in school and I'm in Nashville. So if I'm going to be able to hang out with her for 2 weeks over Christmas or for a week over Thanksgiving, I'm probably going to do that.
But then, so I assumed when you posted that maybe there was a situationship of some kind happening.
Perhaps.
And then I noticed more breakup songs posting, and I don't know, and obviously it's not my business, but I don't know if those are from the original breakup or if this situation and again, people are going to read into whatever they think. So that is what it is. And again, heartbreak does make for great country music. So
absolutely. Well, luckily it was, so I'm assuming the song you're talking about that I've been posting about earlier this year is Reasons Why We Broke Up.
Reasons Why We Broke Up. Before You, is that one?
Oh, yeah. That was one I posted too. Man, you're good. I posted that once. Nothing flies by her. I love it.
That's right.
Yeah, honestly, So Reasons Why We Broke Up was one that I wrote a couple years ago when I was going through, honestly, right when I was going through that breakup. It was, so I'm releasing it now. It's one that I've kind of like had in the vault, as Taylor Swift would say,
Yeah.
that I've posted about a few times and just have never ripped the Band-Aid off of actually releasing it and putting it out in the world. And I think one of the reasons why is even though I've talked about all of this drama and all these silly things that have happened to me, that one was just really real. And I do have a note in my iPhone 13 that has all the reasons why him and I broke up that luckily I don't look at anymore, but for a while I had to look at to make sure I did not try to do anything silly. So,
Understood.
so it's one that I'm excited to get out. It definitely feels like cleansing and healing to finally put it out in the world, but I get how it's confusing. And
And also, no, not my business or anybody else's business.
no,
So.
I'm an open book for worse or for better. So here we are, especially when it comes to all that. But, and then before you, funny enough, that song is definitely written in a relationship point of view, but that song represents a lot of people to me, funny enough, or even like past me. And that's very introspective and feels very deep. But basically, the idea of it is that there's some people in your life where it feels like there's a you before them and there's a you after them, and they leave an impact. And there's been some people, whether, it was a love interest or not, maybe it was like a close friend or an industry deal or a job or somebody that just randomly said something that didn't mean much to them, but it really resonated with me. And writing that song, it just, to me, it was very redemption focused of even if somebody happens to you, you can get back to who you were before that happened. It just takes a little work and some healing. And that has definitely happened to me more than once. And luckily, again, the world keeps turning and you keep going to bed and waking up the next day and you can sometimes heal a little bit at a time. And one day you wake up and you're like, you know what? It's almost like none of that happened or I'm better for it. So
For sure. For sure. You haven't released it yet, though, right?
not yet.
Like, is it coming? When can we have it? Tell us all the things.
I know, I know. Now is when I'm like, ooh, I have my secrets. No, but I'm like, oh, the drama? For sure.
The drama for sure. No release dates.
Yeah, so I am working on a bunch of stuff right now. I have a bunch of exciting things happening this year, but no definite dates because I don't know if we can timelines. I don't think that they're movable. But you'll be the first to know when I have some stuff set in stone. I'm really, really excited. And I feel like this could be a year where I do a lot of things I've never done before. So I'm really excited for it.
That sounds very exciting.
I know. I know.
I did not realize, by the way, that you were an independent artist now.
Yes.
And it's been for quite a while, but I had sort of stepped away from the business for a little bit, and so I missed things. But you had put out Strangers as your first independent release and got 1 million streams without label support, so there's more evidence that you're going to be a star.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a fun journey. Honestly, my deal that I had for 3.5 years-ish just kind of came to an end, and I feel like we could have gone in a lot of different ways with them. It's very mutual. Like, I love records. I thought they were awesome. And I think they believe in me a lot, but it was just kind of time to switch things up and try some new things. So, I signed there when I was 21, and when I left there, I was 24. So I just had some ideas and some things I wanted to try, and didn't really want to have to take a whole label along with me to try to do it. So I've been independent for about a year now, which is crazy. And I only released about 3 songs. It took me a while to figure out exactly how I wanted to do things and who I wanted to work with, and honestly, without having a whole label behind me, it gave me a second to breathe, which I hadn't had since I was 21. So it took a second, but I released music in the fall that I co-produced on, and I got to be really, really involved with everything. And part of that is because there wasn't as many other people involved. And part of that was because I really wanted to be. I had ideas. I've always been really, really into the music and the like marketing and the A&R side of things. And it was cool to kind of just go with my gut on a lot of stuff. And I'm just continuing doing that. And thank God it feels like people are liking it and connecting with it and hearing songs. And I don't know what more I could ask for, truly.
You put out Get You Back last fall. Is that one that you co-produced?
Yeah, I played the guitar solo on that one.
Wow.
And I played it on Strangers too. And it was so much fun to just get in the studio and mess around. I mean, when you're going in the studio as an artist on a label, just things are so expensive. Like the time to be in the studio, the time to be working with the producer, the timelines on things are very rigid. And there's just never been that flexibility for me to be able to experiment. And being independent, I have all the time in the world because I kind of call a lot of the shots. So it's been really fun to just be really experimental or
Experimental?
to be it. Yep, experimental. And just kind of mess with things and go down the wrong road twice to go down the one we started with originally in the end and have a lot of fun with it.
You have recently put out some, on YouTube anyway, some acoustic versions of some of your songs and of some other people's songs. Girl, George Strait's Run is probably one of my favorite songs by George Strait.
Oh,
And
it's so good.
you nailed it.
So good. Thank you. That means the world. I mean, being from Texas, it felt like a big task to take on a George Strait song, but that's been one of my favorites for forever. I just love the way the melodies like flow together and all of the imagery and the lyrics, and to get to kind of put my own spin on it. We just did like a one take of it, and it's been fun to, I mean, honestly, I keep using this word fun, and
It should be fun.
it gets to be fun. You know, I feel like that's been a big thing over the last year for me, is realizing that I could have fun. And if I want to just put up a YouTube video of a random cover, I can. I have a remix with a DJ from Norway coming out, and of one of my songs. It's actually of Get You Back. And it was the most random fun idea that I had. And we were over in Norway. I had a song that did really well over in the Scandinavian countries. And we got to go over there last summer and tour around. And it was so fun. And it made me want to connect deeper with the music family there. And EDM music is huge over in Europe. So we got connected with a Norwegian DJ and let him run with it. And I love it. I think it's so much fun. It feels like something that would come on in Jason Aldean's on Broadway. And it feels like just a party is about to go down. But that's another example of the fun that there's just no rules. Like, I feel like you can box yourself into all these things that you have to do or you can't do. And I learned that I could totally put out a Norwegian remix. Why not? And it's great. I love it.
Now, speaking of that, because you posted on Instagram one day and you said something like, I did a thing tomorrow, right? And it's a whole bunch of pictures, like just a bunch of selfies. And I was like, oh my God, she cut her hair. I can't wait to see what she did. And no, it wasn't a haircut at all. It was EDM.
No, it was EDM. I do not think people were expecting it at all, which is very fun.
Yeah.
I love to pull a fast one on everybody. And I don't get to do it a lot because I think people know they can trust me. I'm probably not going to do anything too crazy. But I did that. And it makes me want to do crazier things. I'm not going to lie.
I think you should. I'm here for it.
Oh, no. Don't encourage me. now I'm going to be doing something wild.
You can just blame me. Tell him it was my fault.
Great. I'll be like, well, Jess said.
Jess said. It's totally fine.
The two of us agreed.
That's right. That's right. I asked you the very first time that I interviewed you, or maybe when I did it again in 2023. I don't know. I've interviewed you a few times.
I know.
One of those times, I asked you if you were famous in your hometown of Rockwall, Texas, and you laughed out loud. And you were like, nobody knows who I am in Texas. Has that changed? I'm going to ask you that every 4 years until you are.
Please do.
Yeah.
A little bit. You know what? You're going to die. I was home over Christmas, and my dad has a burger joint that he loves. Like, it's a local place. It's called Wells Cattle Co., and it's farm to table. The guy who runs it is a pastor. So the beef is blessed, and it is real good. But we went there, and the guy who owns it asked if he could get a picture with me because he liked my music. And You know, all I know is it meant a lot to my dad. I don't know if anybody else would think it was cool, but it was awesome to just hear that he plays the music in the restaurant and all of that. And it's my dad's like favorite spot, so that was fun. But honestly, when I'm home these days, I really just stay at my parents' house. I do not leave the confines of that place. So maybe I am famous and I don't know.
That's probably it. That's probably true.
But I doubt it. We did just get an HEB though, and that was very exciting for my hometown.
That is very exciting. Okay.
Oh yes.
So what is coming up this year that you are able to tell us about?
A lot of new music. We are going back overseas over this summer, which will be really fun. And I'm going on the road with Tyler Rich, which is going to be in Danny Worsnop. They're doing a co-headlining tour, which I'm going to need to kick off a lot of shows for, which will be a lot of fun. And we're cooking up some stuff for the fall. It's going to be busy. It's going to be busy and exciting. And I will announce everything soon enough because I can't keep secret, but I'm going to try my best right now.
We're going to be keeping an eye on the social media for that.
Please, please.
It is flash round time. Just a couple of quick fun questions.
Come on.
What's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, Before He Cheats.
Nice. The bar is already high because of Dolly Parton, but who else is on the collaboration bucket list?
You know, I would really love to do some stuff with my friends. Like I'm good friends with Dylan Marlowe, and I'm friends with like May Estes and girls like that. And I think it would be really fun to do some with people that are kind of in the grind season with me. I think that would be really fun. But also always Keith Urban.
Okay, funny thing, I asked you that question in 2023, and you said Keith Urban.
Yeah.
And Vince Gill.
Keith, you know what? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Those are both ring very true still.
Okay, if you could start a band, as a side gig, of course.
Okay.
What 3 other artists would be in it with you?
Okay. Dylan. You know what? May. I would love that. And honestly, I'd have Vince Gill just lead the whole thing. We just follow his lead.
And you know he would do it, too, because he is so supportive of newer artists.
So kind. I could guilt trip him into it, probably.
Okay.
I'd be like, please.
I'm gonna be watching for that band as well.
Okay, perfect. Keep an eye out. Yeah.
Erin Kinsey, it is always so fun to talk to you. Thank you for taking the time to do this.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I love this.
Y'all follow Erin on the socials. You can check out some of her music on the Girl Crush Country playlist on Spotify. Please hit the subscribe button here on YouTube. And don't forget that you can get the music news and releases and everything about your favorite female country artists in the Girl Crush Country newsletter at girlcrushcountry.com.